If you're feeling stuck in your real estate business, I can almost guarantee you this is why. Now, in this video, I am going to break down what I call the 30, 60, 90-day cycle for real estate agents. And there's good news and bad news. The good news is, in 90 days, you can totally change your business. And the bad news is, it's gonna take 90 days. This is the same framework that I train my agents on that takes brand new agents from zero, brand new in the business, to on pace to do a deal a month, or at least every other month, which is about $1 million per month in my market. And we take experienced agents that are needing to kickstart or restart their business. In the first 90 days, they go from being at zero to back to doing their level of production within the first 90 days. This is something that has worked over and over and over for agents in our business, so I'm excited to share it with you. Now, this is a simple 3-part framework with a bonus at the end that is very simple and straightforward. So this isn't going to be a very complicated video, but the concept absolutely applies to agents at all levels. I don't care if you're brand new in the business or if you are incredibly successful. If you are, you know this cycle exists. So let's break it down. First 30 days, this is where it's super straightforward. You have one singular goal for the next 30 days. Now, if you're restarting or kickstarting or starting your business, this is it. 30 days, all your goal is to have as many conversations as possible. Very simple, very straightforward. Your goal is conversations. It does not mean that they have to be looking to buy or sell. You're not telling people, call me for all your real estate needs. You are literally just having conversations with people. Now, if you already have something in your business that works to get you having conversations, then do it. If that's calling for sale by owners, expireds, if it's open houses, if it's door knocking, if you already have a database of leads, that's where I would start, but start with what already works. You are just going to try to have conversations. Now, the reason conversations is the goal is because nobody wants to talk to or do a deal with an agent with commission breath. It is where you can just see and feel that this person needs the deal in order to survive. Nobody wants to do a deal with that person, and it's gonna make it 10 times worse. If your goal is to talk to people to do a deal, you're coming off, I promise, with commission breath. So your goal is to just simply have a conversation. If that person's needs need you to help them with real estate, then fantastic, that is a bonus. But the goal for the first 30 days is to talk to as many people as possible. If you're talking through using good conversation scripts and frameworks, you're going to be totally fine. So at the end of the 30 days, we're going to move on to the next phase, which is your next 60 days. So first 30 days, your entire goal is just to have as many conversations as possible. My team's goal that I set for each individual agent, at least our average, is to have 15 conversations per week. Now, conversations for us, we use our CRM, is a 2-minute phone call. So any conversation that lasts more than 2 minutes, we consider to be a conversation. 15 conversations per week is the goal for our team. If you're visual like I am, which I assume you are because you're watching this video, I went ahead and drew this out as well too. So what we're looking at is I'm going to put a chart up here on the screen, and this is showing the first section of the framework. So the first section, like I said, is just conversations. Now we're going to move on to the second, which is the next 60 days. In this part of the framework, we are also having all the conversations that we did last month. So the first 30 days, you should have been having a goal of 15 conversations per week. Guess what? Next 30 days, so now we're on the next 60, you're still having all of those conversations. What you're adding on is you're going to start going on appointments with some of the people who are actually needing real estate help, right? Your goal wasn't to sell a house, your goal is to talk to people. Some of those people will actually need your help in real estate. So you're going to, in your second 30 days, now we're at 60, you're going to be, again, I'll put the graphic up, you're going to be having all the same amount of conversations, and you're going to be adding on all of the appointments that you need to go on. This means you're doing your CMAs, your property tours, your previews, your listing presentations, all of these things. What I would say is like doing your job as a real estate agent is your appointment type work, and these have to stack. You have to continue to do your conversations, and you add on in your next 60 days, you're adding on your appointments. Now, we're going to move on to the Forever 90, as I call it. So in the Forever 90, this is where you are still having all of your conversations. So you have to stack your conversations with your conversations and appointments. And in your last 90 days, your Forever 90, you are having all the conversations, you're going on to the appointments, and you're now doing contracts and deals. You're doing your consultations, you're getting contracts signed, and those deals are getting ratified, going into escrow, whatever they call it, where you're at. This is the 30, 60, 90-day cycle. Now, what happens here is if an agent follows this for the first 30 days, all you're focused on is conversations. The next 30 days, some of those people are going to start to do appointments. The next 30 days, those appointments are going to start to turn into deals. Here's where the really hard part starts, is you have to do all three of these things at the same time consistently in your career. If you're wondering what the bonus was, this is it. I say this quote all the time. If you watch any of my videos, you've heard this. It's a sign up in our office that says, do the basics at a high level consistently. This is a quote from Phil Jones, a sales trainer that I absolutely love and live by for business. They're just so true. Keep having conversations, go on the appointments, and manage your escrows. This is the 30, 60, 90-day cycle. In the last screenshot that I'm going to share with you, it just simply shows an arrow up and to the right because you just continuously do this in your career. A point. Almost every agent goes through this, where they work so hard for 90 days to get a deal into escrow, and then they stop the conversations. 30 days later, they will stop setting appointments, and then 30 days after that, they will have no more deals. And what happens is this is where real estate agents get their roller coaster of a career, is they constantly start the 30, 60, 90-day cycle, get a deal or two or five, get comfortable, stop the conversations, and start over. And here's the reality, and this is the part that's really, really difficult for a lot of agents to understand, is it takes 30, 60, 90 days in order to start to see success. And it only takes 30 days for it to completely stop. So here's something I hope kind of drives home for you, is you can have bad days. Everybody has bad days from here and there. It happens. But don't let bad days turn into bad weeks. Bad weeks can turn into bad months, and bad months absolutely turn into bad years. So you can have a bad day every once in a while, but don't let it spiral into a bad week. Because like I said, bad weeks lead to bad months, lead to bad years. And if you have too many bad years, you're going to have a bad career. So focus on doing what you need to do on a daily basis, but follow this framework. Figure out where you're at in your business. Do you need to focus on having more conversations? Do you need to focus on having more conversations and adding on the appointments? Or do you just need to do all three at the same time consistently? And for a lot of agents that are struggling but still doing deals, that's where you're at, is doing all three consistently. Get off of the roller coaster and make sure you're doing this in your business. Here's a pro tip for you as well. 99% of the time, you do not need to add anything new to your business, and you just need to do more of what's already working. I've seen this in my business over and over and over again. I did this about 18 months ago where I cut all the things that I was doing that were not working, tripled down on the things that were, and go figure, a year and a half later, doubled the business from $2 million a year in revenue to well over $4 million a year in revenue in just 18 months. This doesn't take a long time, but it does take consistency. Here's your summary, all in 30 seconds. Your first 30 days, you are going to focus only on having conversation. Your next 60, you're going to be having all the same conversations again, and you're going to be adding on appointments. You have to do both. Next 90 days, or the forever 90, is you are having conversations, you're setting and going on appointments, you're doing deals. The bonus point is you do this consistently over a very long period of time, and you have a very successful career. And if you're watching this and you're wondering how do you scale this to make multiple six figures or even in the seven figures in business, I made a whole nother video scaling from $100,000 a year to $500,000 a year, exactly how to do that in this next video. So if you want to check that out, go click there. But in the meantime, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.